Hey guys, welcome to the Toy Vox. Today is going to be a really cool episode. We're going to be looking at the roadmap for 2022 and the beginning of 2023. First off, I want to go ahead and say this. Just because some of these characters are in this lineup for right now, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to come out in 2022 or the beginning of next year. It just essentially means that they are in development currently. And also, to give a little validity to this list, I want to first start off by showing you the first list that came out in February. Now, back in February of this year, when one of these lists first surfaced by a member in our Discord, Rob C. And if you can see here, there's some Ultramarines characters. You've got the Captain, you've got some Aggressors, you've got the Chaos Warriors. All these figures have been released. Again, this list particularly was dropped in February. You can see the Ultramarines Reavers. We've got the Venerable Dreadnought from the Ultramarines, Ultramarines Blade Guard. And then you'll see the Imperial Fist. Those figures were just announced a couple weeks ago. So that further goes to show that this list, while is pretty much accurate, some of the things that you see today, it could be a little while until you actually see prototype. Here was a little bit more where we had the Venerable Dreadnoughts from the Space Wolves, when we got some Krieg, and of course the Redemptor Dreadnoughts from the Ultramarines and the Blood Angels. And if you can see below, there was also that Black Templar, which fingers crossed should be revealed within the next few weeks. Here's some Heroes of the Chapter. That Ultramarines Captain was just released from most shops recently. The Battle Sisters, which we're still waiting to see those. Then in April, he did another list where you can see we've got some Space Wolves, which most of these have, I know Ragnar has shipped. The Wolves are shipping soon. He revealed 3. We only got 2. Let's go to that next page where, again, we've got the Imperial Fist, which those were revealed. Those Blood Angels were revealed. Here's some Orks, which most of these we do have. There's a few that weren't revealed yet. And you basically get the idea. This list is going to have some legit characters on there. So let's just go ahead and get into it. I know you're waiting to see it. So Crow, obviously already revealed. It's a great figure. These Ultramarines at the top, the Heavy Intercessors, we know about them. The Captain we know about. But you can see we've got some Honor Guard coming. Based on the rumors, we're going to actually see those the first week of October, which I can't wait for. We've got the Ultramarines Calgar, who looks fantastic. Almost a repaint of the Imperial Fist that we got to see. And here we've got some Tau. This was kind of teased a couple weeks ago on Twitter when I found out about them. That hopefully is coming, I want to say, towards the end of October, maybe early November. But those are some Crisis suits. To the left, we've got Shadow Sun. I'm not a big fan of Tau. I'm sure some of you guys are like, what the heck? I may get 1 or 2 just to have some Xenos on my shelf. But for any Tau fans out there, you've got a pretty good amount of figures coming. The next page, again, we've got the Black Templar. We've seen these a couple times now. We've got the Redemptor, the Intercessors, the Emperor's Champion. Looks like a sergeant or a captain on the left. Again, these, from what I'm hearing, we should see prototypes of some of these. I'm not going to say all because I would hate to be wrong, but some of them we will see hopefully the first week of October. I know the Intercessors were mentioned and a Champion was mentioned, but I've got my fingers crossed that we're going to see all of these next week. Back to the Battle Sisters again. We were teased with these back in April, and we've kind of been waiting. The word was that when Joy Toy switched over to the 2.0 bodies, that they kind of wanted to, because the Battle Sisters were in development with the 1.0s. I believe there was some articulation issues. Obviously, these are much smaller, kind of like Krieg build. So they wanted to go in and refine a few things. So we're more than likely these will be on the 2.0 bodies. When they're going to be revealed, I'm not sure. I know you're confused with it because it says 2022. Again, that's not necessarily meaning they're going to be revealed this year. They will, obviously, they'll be revealed at some point next year if it's not this year, but these are at least in development. let's see. So yeah, so Sisters of Battle, the mechs, we got the Paragon Warsuit, which is fantastic. I do plan on picking up as many of these as possible when they are released. And here's the one that most people have been waiting for. We've got the Custodians. Those look great. The Necrons, which were teased, I want to say, towards the end of August. We've not seen any physical prototypes of any of these. But again, kind of parallel with the Battle Sisters. These are going to more than likely have smaller joints. They're probably going to be on the more fragile end. For me, with them holding that large weapon on such a thin body, I worry about them toppling over. I wonder if we might see some stands. I would like stands, so I don't have to worry about the figure toppling over, but God, do they look ugly. Thinking of the Ork and the Squig, which that Squig is going to need a stand to support the body so it doesn't lean. Which again, you don't have to worry about it toppling over, but it really is an eyesore. Next, we've got, this one is exciting. And if you stay tuned towards the end of the video, I'm actually going to have 2 prototype teasers to show off on this. But that Grey Knight's Nemesis Dread Knight, from what I've read, is going to have an alloy frame. So you're not going to have to worry about this thing falling over. It's going to have an actual alloy steel frame inside of it to support that figure. It's going to be 50 centimeters tall, so roughly in the area of 20 inches. It's going to be a massive figure. This one shows it coming with a hammer. The prototype that again you'll see at the end of this video is going to be a sword. And you'll see how big that sword is, man. It's ridiculous. Besides that, we've got Space Wolves Tech Marine. I'm excited for this. This was kind of teased in June, and then it kind of went away. No one talked about it for a while. So I'm assuming there was issues in designing the figure, but we're back on track with this one. We also have, let's see, a Chaos Sorcerer or a Chaos Lord. One of the two there. You've got the Ultramarines Tech Marine, which looks fantastic. Some of you might be looking at that going, well, it's red. It's not Ultramarine. If you look at his knee, he's got the logo. There may be people in here that aren't fully aware of the lore, and I'm still learning myself. But again, figures look great. That Chaos Lord is a must-have. The thing is metal as shit looking. It kind of reminds me of Darth Maul. So that one is a definite pickup. On to the next, we got some more orcs coming, baby. We got the Beast Snaggas. These look fantastic. Now, if you're looking at this list and you see these orcs, kind of harken back to the April reveals where, or at least teasers, where we were shown a handful of orcs and only got about 6 of them. So looking at these, it's not going to be all of these more than likely. It's going to be maybe 6 of them. Either way, looking at them all individually, I'll take either one. I mean, I hope at some point we get all of these. But these look fantastic. I'm definitely an Orcs fan, so these will be purchased instantly. And on to the next photo, we've got some Tempestus Scions. It's a nice tank. The thing's going to be massive. I'm going to assume it's probably going to sit somewhere around the $200 to $300 mark. Probably, yeah, more than likely $250 to $300. That's going to be expensive. If this is your chapter, if these are your guys, I would say stick into it. I feel bad for anyone who's all in, because that tank, for one, is going to take up a lot of space. It is going to be expensive. I'm not necessarily sure if all of these characters are going to be made, or if they're going to split it up to where there's 3 of one. You get a captain. Either way, all of these figures look great. That banner bearer is probably my favorite one. And another chapter people have been dying to see. We finally have them, the Dark Angels. Looks like we're going to get 4 intercessors here. And I don't know if that's a captain. I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me why I'm wrong. I appreciate that. Keep me educated and keep me up to date. I hate sounding like an idiot, but I don't have a problem doing it at the same time. But again, Dark Angels, I think every other day somebody asks, are we going to ever see Dark Angels? Well, here you go. Here's your little teaser. They are coming. So get excited. The next one up, again, another one of my favorites, Chaos. Anytime we get some Chaos Legion, it's a must-have. These obliterators are fantastic. I'm excited to see how the detailing is going to work. I don't know if you saw the Hell Brute. Some of the colors were a little off. The prototype looked decent. and I've seen a few in-hand pictures now, and I don't know if it's a lighting issue. You know, maybe it's almost like a Hot Toys, where if you look at it head on, it doesn't quite look right, but if you get the lighting, it looks perfect. Either way, these bad boys are going on the shelf, man. These things are gnarly looking, and I cannot wait for them. So the final two is going to be some knights. And these bad boys are going to be huge. We got an Imperial Knight and a Chaos Knight. You can see the little miniature down by his feet. These guys are huge. I'm thinking 24 to 25 inches. So it'll be a centerpiece in anybody's display. If you even choose to get them, I understand this takes up a ton of space. And price-wise, there's been rumors, there's been conversations that we had in the Discord with a few people close to Joy Toy on how expensive these are going to be, how shipping's going to work. That's another thing I worry about for some of you who get some of your stuff from overseas. There are plenty of times where those boxes don't come in mint or decent. I've seen some crushed and ripped boxes. So it kind of worries me with something like this that you're probably going to pay north of $500 for, I have to imagine. And you're waiting and waiting for that item to come in, and it comes in crushed. I mean, looking at some of the details on these guys, there's so many intricate parts and so many opportunities for damage to happen in shipping. So I'm excited to see how they plan on doing this, how they're going to ship them. I'm assuming there's going to be some assembly required, which is fine by me. I'd almost rather have it come in parts as one whole piece. Maybe one box. I don't see them breaking this down in two different boxes. Logistically, that just seems like a bad decision. But either way, that is the 2022-2023 list. There's a lot here. Again, don't get too excited. Next week, the first week of October, we should definitely see some Black Templars. We should see the Ultramarine Honor Guard. Beyond that is kind of up in the air. I haven't heard a whole lot. I know towards the end of October, there was mentions of another reveal and a pre-order going up. It should be the Custodians, and we should see the Necrons here pretty soon by the end of October. But either way, this will give you a list of what to look forward to, what to get excited for. And without further ado, let's go ahead and look at those prototypes that I had mentioned. The first one here, as you can see, is that Dread Knight foot next to a miniature and how massive it is. If you look over to the right, you can actually see a Chaos Marine laying down there just to give that thing some scale. And that's 1 foot. Again, this is going to have some alloy material in the frame to hold it up so it's not leaning over and crashing, because if you spend $250 to $300 and it falls over and anything breaks, you're going to be one pissed off person, and I do not blame you. The next image is, so this will be the power sword. As you can see in this gentleman's hand, I don't know the guy, don't know how big his hand is, but either way, that is a big ass sword. I'm excited to see the detail on it. I'm hoping it looks something close to the Librarian sword, to have some really cool lightning effects going up and down the blade. This thing's going to be dangerous, man. If you got little kids, don't let them hold this. It looks like it could do some damage. So that's it, guys. That's the 2022-2023 reveals. Let me know down in the comments what you're looking forward to. Maybe there wasn't something on this list and you're like, hey man, what the hell? Here's what I want. Throw all that in the comments. Don't forget to like. Please subscribe. Head over to @JoyToyWarhammer on Twitter. In that bio, you're going to find a link to the Discord. Join that Discord server. We're almost at 1,000 members. This list that you're looking at today came out last week. I kind of dragged ass and didn't get this video out. We kind of have a hurricane going. There's a lot going on right now, but I figured I'd get this video out to you guys so you could check it out, kind of get you hyped for what's coming. But join that Discord, and we'll see you on the next video.